Most people immediately replace parts, hoping one of them fixes the problem, but that's exactly how money gets wasted. In this video, I'll show you the exact diagnostic process I used on a real vehicle, step by step, to find the actual fault, without guessing and without replacing a single unnecessary part. Let's diagnose it together. We'll now show you exactly what's happening with the vehicle so you can clearly understand the problem. Let's try starting the engine. Listen carefully to the sound. We'll try one more time. This will be our last attempt, just to avoid draining the battery. When an engine won't start, there are three main components we always suspect first. The first is the crankshaft position sensor. The second is the ignition coil. And the third is the fuel pump. Of course, there are many other possible reasons why an engine may fail to start. I've already covered all of them in a previous video, and you'll find the link in the description below. But in most cases, these are the first three components you should diagnose before looking anywhere else. First, let's diagnose the crankshaft position sensor. For this test, you won't need a multimeter or any special tools. You can get a very good idea of whether the sensor is working simply by watching the RPM gauge. If the RPM needle moves while you're cranking the engine, it means the crankshaft position sensor is detecting engine speed correctly and is most likely working properly. However, if the RPM needle doesn't move at all during cranking, the crankshaft position sensor immediately becomes one of the main suspects. So, let's perform the test now. Listen to the engine carefully while watching the RPM gauge and pay close attention to whether the needle moves or stays at 0. As you can see, the RPM needle does move while the engine is cranking. That tells us the crankshaft position sensor is working properly, with more than a 95% probability. Next, let's check the ignition system, specifically the ignition coil. Be very careful while performing this test to avoid receiving an electric shock. It isn't dangerous, but it can be quite painful, and the effect may last for a few minutes. For this test, you'll need someone to help you. While one person cranks the engine, the other will check whether the ignition coil is producing a strong spark. During cranking, carefully disconnect one of the coil wires and hold it close to the ignition coil housing. This allows you to verify that the coil is receiving enough voltage to generate a strong ignition spark. If your vehicle uses individual ignition coils, you can perform the same test by holding the coil close to a good ground point on the engine or vehicle body while someone cranks the engine. As you can see, the ignition coil is producing a strong spark, which confirms that the ignition system is working properly. Now, let's move on to the next diagnostic. Now, let's diagnose the fuel pump and find out whether it's actually working. On this vehicle, every time you turn the ignition key to the on position, you should hear a brief humming sound coming from the fuel pump, just like this. So let's turn the ignition on and listen carefully. As you can hear, there's no sound at all. That's our first clue that the fuel pump isn't running. But don't rush to replace it just yet. Before blaming the fuel pump itself, there are 3 essential tests we need to perform to find out whether the problem is actually the pump or something else in the circuit. And the best part is, you can do all of these tests without removing the fuel pump or spending a single dollar. First, let's check the fuel pump fuse. You can find the location of the fuel pump fuse by opening the hood and locating the main fuse box, which is usually mounted near the battery. Next, use the fuse diagram printed on the fuse box cover to identify the fuel pump fuse. In this vehicle, the fuel pump is protected by a 15-amp fuse, and this is its location. Now, simply remove the fuse using a fuse puller and inspect it carefully to see whether it's blown or not. If the fuse is blown, replacing it may solve the problem immediately. However, in our case, the fuse is completely intact. So we'll reinstall it and move on to the next diagnostic step. Now let's check the fuel pump relay. You'll usually find it right next to the fuel pump fuse, and just like before, you can identify it using the fuse diagram on the fuse box cover. To save both time and effort, there's a very simple test you can perform without using a multimeter. All you have to do is replace the fuel pump relay with another relay that has the same part number, the same specifications, and the same physical design. On this vehicle, there are 3 relays that match the fuel pump relay. We'll use the AC compressor relay because it isn't needed to start the engine. Now let's swap the 2 relays and try starting the engine again. Listen carefully. As you can hear, the engine still doesn't start, which tells us the relay is working properly. So let's move on to the next diagnostic step. Now let's check the fuel pump connector. As you can see, this connector shows signs of heat damage and burning. In many cases, this can happen when the fuel pump motor is beginning to fail or when a poor quality replacement pump has been installed. But here's something important. Testing the fuel pump connector doesn't just test the connector itself, it also verifies the wiring harness, the relay, the fuse, and even the engine control module's ability to supply power to the fuel pump. If we measure 12 volts at the connector while cranking the engine, we can confirm that all of those components are working properly. On the other hand, if there's no voltage at the connector during cranking, the problem could be a damaged connector, a broken wire in the harness, or, in rare cases, a fault in the engine control module. As for the fuse and the relay, we've already confirmed that both of them are working correctly. This connector has 4 terminals. The 2 smaller wires are for the fuel level sensor. The 2 larger wires supply power directly to the fuel pump motor, which operates on 12 volts. Set your multimeter to DC voltage, then connect the probes to the 2 power terminals for the fuel pump motor. Now crank the engine and watch the multimeter carefully and see whether 12 volts reaches the fuel pump connector during cranking. As you can see, 12 volts is present at the connector, which confirms that the fuel pump itself has failed and is the reason the engine won't start. Now, let's try one final procedure that often brings a fuel pump back to life, at least temporarily. We'll gently tap on the fuel pump housing, then try turning the ignition on again. Sometimes, this simple trick is enough to get a failing fuel pump working one last time. Let's see what happens. After tapping on the fuel pump, we'll turn the ignition on and listen carefully to see if the fuel pump starts humming. Unfortunately, there's still no sound, so let's tap it a little harder and try one more time. Now, listen carefully as we turn the ignition on. Yes, that humming sound you just heard is the fuel pump coming back to life. Let's try starting the engine now. And there it is, the engine starts immediately. At this point, you can replace the fuel pump with complete confidence because you've confirmed the exact cause of the problem instead of replacing parts by guesswork. You'll save both time and money by avoiding unnecessary repairs. If you'd like to see a complete step-by-step tutorial on how to replace the fuel pump, let me know in the comments below. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss a new video. This is AutoFix Zone. I'll see you in the next one.